But let me just finish off by saying the following. I don't think we should take any idea away and leave an empty hole in its place. It's important to to offer something in return. Okay, this idea you probably could reconsider, and this is what you should reconsider it too. Instead of like, I'm just going to take your belief system away, I'm going to destroy it, and then you're sort of left with a metaphorical empty hole and no way to guide. I challenge the idea that the only way you can condition behavior is through an external source. So, not
through a point of reference
to external source. Your motivation can come from very many places. It can come from the fear of and ignorance of life after death. You know, you might feel like, oh, I have to do good now because later. Okay, that is a point that religion and tries to make very much a thing, right? Because that's could be argued, it could be like a way to condition behavior in mass.
Right, that's an incentive for people to behave a certain way. Okay.
If you look at Buddhism, for example, and Hinduism, they're reincarnating religions. So they really believe that life keeps coming back to Earth, and every cycle of life, you're here to better yourself, to get better karma. So you'll reincarnate in a better life form, maybe in a different, when they had a caste system, I think they still do.
Do you think that those belief systems were and those doctrines and ideas were just created to kind of control our animalistic instincts and to stop let's say to stop human beings from destroying themselves?
I mean, look at other life forms that don't have quote-unquote values.
But it's not that they don't have values. They don't have the capacity to create values.
What's the difference? In practice, what's the difference between not having values
the capacity
and
makes
having
a
the
big
capacity?
Difference.
Like, I see, there's no...
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, but
like
that's a big
gap.
I'm saying?
You know, that's a big gap.
There's a difference between... What's the difference between not having any values and not being able to hold values? In practice, the outcome is the same, because you're not guiding your actions for any kind of value or moral compass. You're merely handling yourself in order of what I call the prime directives, whatever your basic biology is telling you. And your basic biology is telling you to run away from pain, feed yourself, which is a form of pain, because hunger is a form of pain, and go towards reproduction. That's very basic. That's a basic truth of most, if not all, things that are living.
Survival instincts. And these survival instincts are the survival of the species, even though through reproduction, some species die very gruesome deaths. Reproducing is the last thing that they'll ever do. And for whatever reason, the chaos of chemistry and evolution and biology took down this weird path that doesn't seem logical to us, because that's a very different reality than we live. Imagine if your girlfriend would murder you after you and eat your body, or like put the eggs inside of your body so that the babies could come. It's not really a real like
a black widow, or like
not a black widow. The wasp.
Or the wasp.
The lens on the spider.
Anyway, so what I'm saying is, like, that's kind of like the guide for most living things. And to us, we're here right now because all of those needs are more or less met. We can break away from that day-to-day survival struggle. And we've built societies on top of that, because we have thrived, we have conquered nature through technology and through knowledge. And we are put in this position where we can... If our base of our pyramid is set, so we can build on top of that, and only then can we build on top of that. I think that creates the space for self-improvement after you've met those needs, and the societies have incentives. Our society has incentives in improving or achieving certain performance
levels, whether that be professional, because there's an incentive behind it, right? Or it would be social. They all can be boiled down to these prime directives, and that's kind of like how I look at life. And you can also, because you have intellect and you have understanding of past, present, and future, you can plan, you can understand, you can find in yourself certain values that you can want to live by without having a sense of, oh, I'm going to do this just because I'm going to get rewarded. I think you can reason the goodness that you want your offspring to survive and to prosper, and their offspring. You can look at it from a genetics perspective. You want to spread your seed and you want to spread your genetic material, and you want to keep that lineage sort of alive, and you want to create the best outcome possible for your offspring, because most biology points in that direction, because this is all coming from a very long line of this cycle, in the sense that our grandparents had grandparents and their grandparents had grandparents. Like, all life on Earth kind of like lives to perpetuate itself in a way, otherwise it will stop existing by definition. So I think that there's lots of chances for us to find meaning in life, and for us to find reasons for self-improvement that transcend this religious or this punishment sort of like incentive, I forget the word now, that a lot of religions put you towards. You should do good things, not because of the sake of doing good things, but you should do good things because otherwise you'll have a bad time in a different situation that nobody is really able to prove or live through. It's kind of like a myth, right? Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah, it does. It takes back. I guess it takes me back to the question from the last episode, culture versus nature.
Mm-hmm.
But even that drive through a reward system that you were just talking about, you can separate that to, like, what is considered a reward, what feels like a reward, what fulfills the utterances of human beings, and what drives, like, what is the ultimate goal that drives them, that drives people into doing things certain ways. Like, you can say that the idea of helping someone, like the action of helping someone, being altruism, donate something, or I don't know, help someone that is in need, will generate a positive response, a positive emotion, and that can be seen as a reward.
Exactly.
In opposition to, you're gonna do something horrendous to another person just because it'll, to you, feel like a reward in a more carnal way, or in a more superficial and hedonistic, pleasurable way.
Just define the sadist.
You know what I'm saying?
Example.
So, but I think that separation and those ideas are, like, they will dictate whether society moves towards a better outcome where everybody is free, and there's less chaos, let's say, less suffering, where human beings are causing less suffering to other human beings. Some ideas will lead to more positive outcomes than others because, maybe it's related to that reward system that you're talking about. Like, what makes people feel good and what drives people utterances and actions, And I think maybe certain beliefs and system of values, they generate, they drive people to do more positive actions in order to feel that reward than others. Maybe, I don't know if I...
Maybe. Hello everybody, and thank you for watching until the end. This has been Woke Wars, and I hope you liked our conversation. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Tell us what you'd like to hear us talk about next. Also, check out some of our other episodes. We post every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We will see you on the next one.